Marginal utility. Consider a consumer who is consuming some bundle of goods X1, X2. Okay. Now, in case if you give a little more of good 1 to this consumer, then how is the consumer's utility going to change? Okay. So the rate of change is called the marginal utility. This rate of change is called the marginal utility. That is the change in utility due to small change in consumption of X1. Okay, so this is the marginal utility of X1. Now you can write the marginal utility of X1 in this fashion. That is mu X1 is equal to del U by del X1. Okay, so it measures the rate of change in utility. It measures the rate of change in utility, that is del U, associated with a small change in the amount of X1. Okay, and notice that your X2 is held fixed in this calculation because these are partial derivatives. These are not simple derivatives. Okay, well, to calculate the change in utility, okay, associated with the change in consumption of good 1, what do you need to do? Okay, so you can even write that del U would be equal to del X1 into mu X1. Clear? So you can just multiply the change in consumption with the marginal utility of that particular good. Okay. Similarly, you can write the marginal utility of X2, which is del U by del X2. Fine. And you can also calculate the change in utility associated with the small change in the consumption of good 2 by just multiplying mu X2 by the change in consumption due to that good. Well, the magnitude of marginal utility depends upon the magnitude of utility. It depends on the particular way that we choose to measure the utility. Okay, so if we multiply utility by 2, the marginal utility would also get multiplied by 2. Okay, marginal utility itself has no behavioral content. So choice behavior only reveals information about the way a consumer ranks bundle of goods. Marginal utility depends on the particular utility function that we use to reflect the preference ordering, and its magnitude has no particular significance. However, it turns out that marginal utility can be used to calculate something that does have behavioral content, which is MRS. Okay, so what is being gathered from here? That marginal utility itself doesn't have any behavioral content. Marginal utility itself doesn't have any behavioral content. Clear? Fine? Okay.